Hello, welcome back to another vlog. It's Thursday morning. I've just finished getting ready. As you'll have seen, we went on a gorgeous walk this morning. I really try this time of year to look at what the weather's going to be like the night before, and if it's going to be clear, I'm not missing getting out, and it was just so worth getting some fresh air. It was really lovely. So a little bit of a later start. It's 20 past 10 now. We have been just, as you were going to see in this vlog, I mean, if I move out the way, Exhibit A, there's just a lot going on in the house at the minute. We're going to be redecorating this bedroom this month. So, I mean, like to the right of me here, I have samples that I painted yesterday. This is not going to be the colour of the walls, by the way, or this, but I'm trying to find a complementary woodwork colour. So yeah, that's what they are. But there is just a lot of stuff happening in the house. So if you see bits and bobs everywhere, that is why. My hair is looking a bit weird today because I feel like this side's got a curl and then this side I don't know what's happened. So I'm going to tie it back, clip it back and try and encourage a bit of a curl on this right side. I hosted the monthly journaling club last night, which was really lovely. And another thing actually that came up for me as part of that is creating an autumn vision board. So I also think today, I've kind of written it down this morning with my morning coffee. My plan is to do an autumn vision board, so I'll kind of talk you through that process and what I do with that as well. But yeah, first port of call is the kind of boring work bits. I've got some invoices that I need to do and some invoice chasing that I need to do. That is the joys of being a freelancer. And also some emails. It's nearly 12 o'clock. I've done all of my emails. And I'm now going to pop out. I need to go and collect an order from Vinted. And I also have my own Vinted parcel that someone's bought. I've also got some bits to take to the charity shop. And I would love to look in our local florist and see if they've got any kind of berries or eucalyptus. Just something to put in the vase on our dining room table that's a little bit more autumnal. So yes, I'm gonna head out and do that. I'm back and I didn't manage to go to the florist because the florist where I live has closed down and I didn't realise. They must have just shut recently because I'm pretty sure it was there a week ago. So yeah, I didn't manage to pick up any flowers, but I did get my book for this month's book club. So I'm just gonna open that. So this is our book club pick for October, Carrie by Stephen King. Thought we'd go for something a little bit more spooky. I have never read any Stephen King before, but looking at it, it looks like it should be an easier read than last month's, because last month we had To the Lighthouse by Virginia Woolf, which, if you know, it was quite heavy. It's been really interesting actually, reading more as an adult when it's not something that I really did or engaged with as a teenager, because I feel like I'm having to get more confident with reading now. And I wrote a Substack about this recently actually, about how important having hobbies is. I've realised I definitely have this unconscious belief that as an adult I should already know how to do certain things, and if I don't then I shouldn't attempt or be a beginner at this age, which is absolutely ridiculous. And I've really had to kind of coach myself through that and also learn that it's okay to make mistakes through hobbies and through anything, like it's just life. It's made me realise that actually I do need a little bit of discomfort in my life, even if that is something like reading a novel that is kind of out of my scope and feels challenging. Just doing things that stretch my mind and obviously keep everything active. But anyway, long story short, we're reading this month and I'm looking forward to it. I have come up to my office. I'm going to see if you're going to balance on the top of my webcam. Also, it feels really retro saying that I have a webcam. I think they're still called webcams, but I basically use it for like my online journaling club or online yoga classes. Anyway, I'm going to make a start on my vision board. It's about to approach 2 o'clock. Let me show you. Also, ignore the radiator in the background. Office has become a little bit of a dumping ground. This is, I mean, it did have a couple more bits there, they've just fallen off, but this was my vision board for spring, summer. A lot of it was focused on reading more, being in the garden. This one, obviously growing things from seed. I did that this year, which felt really amazing. I think that this year I'm going to focus on doing a digital board first, which I want both. Basically, physical board has always been my main priority, but I feel like a digital board would also be really nice to have. Spend the next half an hour thinking about what I want from this season. So that is the first step before doing any kind of vision board. Thinking about what your values are, what you want to achieve, how you want to feel, all these things that are going to impact how you show up, making a note of those. Vision boards are just one of those things that I've done for like 5 years now. I typically do one at the beginning of the lighter months and then at the beginning of the darker months. And I do just find it's kind of spooky how most things, if not everything that I put on my vision board, does come to life in some way, and I just find it a really nice thing to have as part of my life. I just spent about 25 minutes thinking about and writing down how I want the next kind of 5-6 months to look. I started off with how I wanted to feel, and what came up for me was calm, prepared, at ease. So interesting, there's definitely a theme around just feeling good and like regulating the nervous system there. Connected, a sense of awe and wonder, and that for me I think has come up because I really want to just be connected with the season, but also through trying new hobbies and doing new things and proving to myself that I can do things that feel challenging. You know, like that sense of achievement that you get. I'd really like to feel a little bit of that this autumn and winter. And well rested, that was the final one. So I've got my words of how I want to feel, and then I've got things I'd love to do that really feed into that. So I've got really practical goals here. One of them is that I want to tile the fireplace downstairs, so that's a really specific goal. Another one is to paint the first part of the stairs and banister. Again, so random, but it's something that I'd like to do this autumn and winter, so I'm getting it down. Find and make new recipes for evening meals. Go to Pilates once a week. That's something that I really want to start doing, so I've put that down as an intention. And then lastly, I've got meditation and yoga as a daily practice. And then I've got work related. So first one is that I want to basically rejig my routine a little bit. I work on quite an ad hoc basis at the moment, but I'd like to have more set days. Team that up with a digital detox. So on the days that I'm doing marketing work and I'm looking at my computer, I don't want to be on Instagram or any form of social media at all. So teaming those 2 days up and having very intentional, like phone-free days where I do that work. I'd love to collaborate with a candle company on Instagram or TikTok, just putting that out there. I love candles and they're a really big part of seasonal living for me, and just how they just bring me a lot of joy this time of year and make everything feel cozy. So I'd love to be able to work with a cool brand in relation to that. And yeah, there's a couple more things on there, but I'm not going to share them because they're kind of more personal bits. But yeah, that's what came up for me. And from these now, my next step is to go onto Pinterest. And when it comes to picking images, they don't have to be direct representations of what you're choosing to do, but something that encapsulates that feeling and reminds you that that is your goal or intention. So for the more obvious things like tiling the fireplace, I'm probably going to spend a little bit of time now looking at tiled fireplaces that I really like the look of. For the things where I have dedicated days where I do my marketing work, I might get an image more around a workspace or something that represents balance to me. So yeah, I'm going to spend maybe the next 15-20 minutes on Pinterest and gather loads of images together. I've picked out all the images. I'm now going to go onto Canva and make it into my background for my laptop and also my phone. But I'm also going to print them off using free prints. I use it just generally to print off pictures. Kind of maybe I end up doing it once every 3 to 4 months. And I think it costs about £3. You just pay for delivery basically. A lot of these that I did last year, actually all of these were from free prints. And they're just great. So yeah, I do really recommend doing this. And if you came to my autumn workshop, maybe looking at the intentions that you set there, or if you come to my monthly journaling club, I'm feeding some of those into, especially with kind of doing this monthly a digital board, having your board, whatever you do, whether you just do a digital one or a physical one, somewhere that you will see it every single day, because I promise it makes a huge difference. feel like this vlog's been a little bit all over the place. After doing my vision board, I basically came down here and I sat on the sofa and finished off watching Bake Off because I had half of the episode left. So yeah, I did that. Before I make a start on tea, I thought I would make a start on this. So basically, I have a thing for painting frames. I've painted a few of them. The one in our bathroom, I did. I've got another one over there that's been painted. And I just really love doing a DIY with them because I love this trend of having like a stripe or a check on a frame. So instead of paying the £50–60 plus that they are to buy, I have been doing some DIYs and I get a lot of my frames, sorry, I'm just looking for some frames of reference on Pinterest. I get a lot of them from the charity shop. So let me show you this as an example. I'm hoping that that will pick up on the camera. Yeah, there you go. So I'm wondering whether to venture out and do a bit of a different design. I quite like this top one, but then, yeah, I don't know. I need to look at the colours I've got. I'm using a lot of just old samples from Little Green. And then, yeah, I can get a really nice little picture in here. The first thing I'm gonna do is just clean the glass and get everything out so I'm ready to go. It is a little bit crazy, the amount of paint samples that we have. Like when I look at them all like this, it shows how indecisive I can be. But it is handy for doing crafts. I've picked out this one. This is actually a really recent sample for the bedroom, which is Ganache from Little Green, this really lovely, warm, chocolatey colour. And I was thinking maybe with one of these pinks, what's this? Nether red. I also like the look of blues, that split pink. That's actually what we're going to be using in our bedroom, I think. I think split pink on the walls and then this colour on the woodwork on this picture. This one here looks really nice, but I'm also really intrigued by this and the fact that they've painted the mount blue. I just think that that looks really good. There's a couple of other inspiration pictures. Like the green with the pinks as well also looks nice. So yeah, I'm going to have a little rummage in my stash and figure out how I want to do this. I pulled out 3 that are all just really warm toned and lovely. I've got Invisible Green, Rolling Fog Light. This is the paint that we have in our upstairs, like top bedroom, and then Ganache. And I'm thinking, I don't really know what I'm thinking actually. I would love to do a painted mount. So I might paint the mount in Invisible Green and then have stars in Rolling Fog, back of the frame painted in this. Let's see how we get on. It's 5 o'clock and I'm pausing on the painting. I have actually decided to go full green and I don't know how I feel about it, but thankfully, is this gonna stand on here? I'm trying to stand you on my bowl. Thankfully, this frame was £1.50, so it gives me space and chance to experiment, and if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. And I haven't had to do this before, but I even think that I could probably just put another coat of another colour on. But this is the first coat. I went Invisible Green on the outside, and then I also went with the same for the mount. And then I thought on the frame, I can do not stars, not really neat stars, but like little squiggles and things. Actually, I think that looks quite nice. And I was thinking actually that it could be one that goes in here, and I just think that Invisible Green with this paint colour we've got here, I think it's Clay Mid from Little Green again, I'm just Little Green obsessed. And that'll go really nicely, so I'm gonna leave that to dry dry fully, it's semi-dry, while I make lasagna. It's actually an Emily English recipe that I haven't tried yet, that she's literally just put on Instagram within the last few days. So I'll leave a link to that in the description box. And yes, I'm gonna make a start on that now, so it's ready in good time this evening.
Bloody delicious. It's like just like a hint of sweetness. I don't feel like it's too in your home from boiling. And she produces like videos on and get out there and just quite a meal for our friends. Welcome day inside the Voices Home. We did. It was absolutely good, truly.
Apologies for the washing machine, but please tell me it is not just me that secretly enjoys when there is a tiny little bit of the stock cube left in the wrapper, so you get to have it. Lasagna's going well. I always just forget how much of a commitment this dinner is. I've been working to get this together for an hour and a half, but we're getting there. I'm just waiting for my bechamel sauce to thicken. I've come to the living room while the lasagna cooks. I think we've got 10 minutes. It's 7:15 and we've got 10 minutes until the lasagna is ready. I think that this is a record in terms of how long this has taken me. But I was just finding that my bechamel sauce wasn't thickening. It took like half an hour to thicken, so it just slowed the whole process down. But it's nearly finished. And Jay has just been, basically after we had our roof done, one side wasn't very well insulated. Also, if you're wondering what this is the parcel shelf from the car. So yeah, one side just wasn't insulated. I mean, the whole of the roof wasn't, it was ridiculous. But he's been insulating that today. So yeah, he's gonna come down and have some dinner, and I don't know what we're gonna do for the rest of the evening. The last thing that we watched was The Perfect Couple on Netflix, which I think I enjoyed. It's probably not gonna be one of those things that I remember and be like, oh my God, I absolutely loved it. But it was good and it was worth watching. But yeah, we don't really have anything else on the horizon, so I might see if there's a new series or something that we can watch. So yeah, if anyone's watching any good TV series at the moment, let us know. We tend to get into this routine in like autumn, winter, where we'll watch 1 or 2 episodes an evening and then read or do something else. I think we're both feeling a little bit tired after today, to be honest, so we'll probably just watch one. The lasagna was really nice. It was really good. Something in that recipe that I don't usually do that I think really actually did make a big difference is adding half of a cube of, I don't know why I'm struggling with this, half a cube, what am I trying to say? Something that Emily English does that I don't usually do with the bechamel sauce is add in half a vegetable stock cube. It made it taste amazing. I didn't add any meat, so it was just lentils and vegetables, but it was absolutely delicious, really filling, and yeah, just a really nice evening meal. So I'll leave that linked in the description box. I am going to wrap this vlog up here because we're just going to chill this evening, watch a little bit more of How to Renovate a Chateau, and then probably get into bed and read. But I hope you enjoyed spending the day with me. Subscribe for more videos, and I will see you next Sunday.